someone in Australia yells at Charles, "Not my king." When an independent senator stopped the proceedings on the second official day of King Charles's trip to Australia and yelled, "You're not my king," it caused a moment of tension. Welcome to Royal Cupcake. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming Royal Cupcake. After giving a speech at Parliament House in Canberra, the nation's capital, the king lost control right afterward. Senator Lidia Thorpe continued to scream for about a minute before she was led out of the event by security. As Queen Camilla walked to the front of the stage, Thorpe, an independent senator from Victoria and a well-known supporter of Indigenous rights, started to yell. While King Charles was getting up to join her, Thorpe accused the Crown of murder and said, "This is not your land, you are not my king." Even though there was a protest, the ceremony went on as planned, and no public comments were made about it. King Charles and Queen Camilla went outside after the event to meet the many people who had come to see them. A lot of people had been waiting all morning in the very hot Canberra sun, waving small Australian flags and hoping to see the royal couple. The 20-year-old royal fan Jamie Karpaz shared his happiness. "I'm very excited because I saw Harry and Meghan the last time they were here. I think the royal family is an important part of Australian society. In our lives, they are very important." C.J. Adams, a student at the Australian National University who is both American and Australian, agreed, saying, "You have to make the most of the opportunities you have while you're in Canberra because he is the head of state of the British Empire." A lot of Australians saw the King's visit as an important link to their country's past and to the Commonwealth. But not everyone was very excited about the royal visit. There was a small group of protesters outside of Parliament House who were speaking out against the government. Thorpe's outburst brought up a subject that has been talked about a lot in Australia: Indigenous sovereignty and the legacy of the monarchy. Thorpe has always pushed for a treaty between Australia's government and its First Nations people because she is Aboriginal. A lot of Indigenous Australians say they never gave up their land or authority to the Crown. This makes Australia the only former British colony that doesn't have a treaty. Australia has talked about becoming a republic for many years, and the topic comes up again and again when the royal family visits. In 1999, the country held a referendum on the subject, and the Republicans lost. But support for the idea has grown over the last few years. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who has been a supporter of republicanism for a long time, shook the King's hand right before Thorpe's protest. Even though polls show that support for the Republic is rising, Albanese's government has said that there will not be another referendum soon. This is especially true after last year's vote on Indigenous recognition, which failed. Before this trip, King Charles had never been to Australia before he became king after Queen Elizabeth II died. The king wants to strengthen his ties with Commonwealth countries during this important tour, which has been cut short because he is still getting treatment for cancer. King Charles has kept a full schedule of events while in Australia, even though it is shorter than other royal trips because of his health problems. In the morning, King Charles went to Canberra's Australian War Memorial and left a wreath in honour of the country's soldiers who died in battle. There was a ceremony in Canberra to officially welcome the King and Queen. It included politicians, students, and Ngunnawal elder Auntie Serena Williams, an Indigenous leader. The event recognized the close ties between Australia and the monarchy. King Charles stopped to talk to people on the street, which was a fun break from the more serious parts of the trip. After going to the War Memorial, the King stopped to talk to people. He had a funny moment when he touched an alpaca that had a small crown on it. The scene was a nice break from the tour's formalities and showed how the King could connect with people in less official and more personal ways. A tour of Australia by King Charles is seen as a big deal for the royal family and for Australia's connection with the Crown. Some people, like Senator Thorpe, still question the monarchy's place in the country, but many Australians see the visit as a sign that the country and the Commonwealth are still connected. The King's tour includes a review of the naval fleet and the start of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa. The royal couple's activities will continue to be public events, balancing official and private moments.